Hello everyone, my name is Jessy IB, and I'm doing my IB personal project report. I chose to do a video rather than writing because I feel like I can express myself more and you guys will understand because I'm good verbally speaking than just typing. So section 1 is investigating. My SMART goal was to create an event where children can voice their opinion on how they feel about police, especially towards racism, and to use their voice to influence good choices and provide domestic tranquility in our community. Accessing people from my community made this a challenging goal. I am an outspoken, smart African American woman, and I recognize a lot of inequalities towards my fellow African American brothers and sisters. Therefore, I wanted to find a way African Americans can voice their frustration and have a talk with police officers and other community leaders. I had a deep understanding of my topic. I had prior knowledge of the abuse that white Americans had over blacks. This all started from slavery to civil rights time. Basically, back in the day, whites had control over blacks. Whites owned slaves and treated them poorly. They beat blacks, they lynched them, and they deprived them of education. A little years passed and blacks are free, but were unable to vote, go to white public schools, and other public facilities. Therefore, blacks started boycotting buses, marching, and just protesting. Then the Civil Rights Act of 1964 was passed, and blacks were able to be equal with whites. Even though blacks are technically free, there is still racism in the world. Blacks were enslaved for 246 years, and now we are free for 151 years. So you just can't expect for racism to just go away. I feel like we're in a different form of slavery. We're slaves to the police. As sad as it sounds, it is true. Police are starting to kill innocent African Americans for no reason. Half of the incidents could have been avoided. The police have killed 263 African Americans so far this year. My global context that I use as my focal point is identities and relationship because it is a way to reflect on my true self. Identities and relationship allows me to find my passion and to see why I'm so infatuated with it. Also, it helps me explore my personal beliefs and values and how I can use it with the relationship towards my community. From my research, I have learned that out of 102 cases in 2015, 10 cases resulted in an officer being charged. That means getting arrested for that crime. My global context that I use as my focal point is identities and relationship because it is a way to reflect on my true self. Identities and relationship allows me to find my passion and to see why I'm so infatuated with it. Also, it helps me explore my personal beliefs and values and how I can use it with the relationship towards my community. From my research, I have learned that out of 102 cases in 2015, 10 cases resulted in an officer being charged. That means getting arrested for that crime. And out of 990 people killed by the police in 2015, 258 of them were African Americans. That is a lot because African Americans only make about 14% of the whole United States population. The sources that I used were website, newsletter, and video. And they were most valuable for me because they provided me with accurate information and a credibility that I can trust. I knew these sources were credible rather than accurate and objective by the wording the author used, if the author was identified in the source, and if the source provided where they found the information. The two sources that became most invaluable for the project were a website and an online article because the certain words that they used show that they had an objective for the readers. The two sources were narrowed down for only blacks to read, not for other races. Therefore, that provided bias in the information that I was reading. Next, section 2 is planning. I needed an audience of people. I needed some people to attend this event. Then I needed a panel of police officers and NAACP members and Sonia Williams. Then I needed participation. Participation was the key because if I don't have participation from the audience, then it's just a boring event and I didn't want that. Then I needed questions. I had to formally question myself to use as guide, but I needed the audience to do the more asking questions rather than me. Then I needed the audience to have a sense of safety and reassurance from the forum. Did you change or alter your criteria? If so, I didn't really change it as much because there was but so much like things that I could grade my form of, so I didn't have to really change it. And these criteria actually became very effective because I did have an audience, I did have participation, I asked questions that I made up, and the audience asked questions. So I'm thinking that these criteria was very effective. How are you able to manage your time and resources effectively? Basically, I just set dates for myself, not like physical, like January stuff. I said like I will work on the questions for this amount of days. I would do my flyer for one day and stuff like that. Basically, that's how I timed myself. So that kind of made it easy for me. Section 3, taking action. Describe your final product / outcome created. My final product was basically a formal discussion. It had 2 police officers from Clinton Police Department and Miss Sonia Williams. And it had an audience about 20, 30, 40-ish people. Basically, I had some questions that were formulated. I would ask Miss Sonia Williams, or I asked the police officers. They would answer me. They would answer my question. If the audience had any questions, they would raise their hands at any time or just freely talk. So that's kind of how my discussion was. It was very like it was very home friendly to say. How does your product / outcome reflect your goal? It reflected my goal because my whole purpose is to bring the community together and raise awareness and tell the community that they can talk to police officers and that they can basically get some type of reassurance. Because that's really all I really wanted my whole part about, is to be reassurance and say that you're not like you can talk to the police officers and they are here for us. So it's basically a way to bring the local my local area together, Upper Marlboro. So I feel like that was a great job. How does your product / outcome reflect the global context you selected? My product basically introduced, like, it made me find my true passion, and my passion is basically bringing together and talking about inequalities. So my questions were based on how I was feeling and questions that I wanted the police officers to know. So by creating this forum discussion, it really helped me just find my true self and see how I can help help the community with my passion. So I create this forum so I can have some type of closure or peace, and also the community so they can have some closure and peace and like talk about it, because everybody knows that police brutality is going on, but nobody actually had like a conversation, and that's really what my product was about, and that's how it reflected my global context. Why did you choose to express your learning through this product and outcome? I really felt like there was no other way to express this, because if I was just to write to police officers, they would have never like probably wrote back or something. So I just feel like this was a more intimate way to talk to them, to have a conversation with them, have the community involved. So that's why it was like a forum was the only way. You're asking questions, you're asking them things that they want to know, they're telling you things, you're basically listening to both perspectives, and that's really why I feel like this forum was just a perfect way. How does your product / income reflect any new ideas or different perspective? My product, it makes me want to do more forums. I could do forums on like feminists, because I am a feminist. I can do forums about Donald Trump. So it's by me doing it and seeing how the community is so engaged, it makes me want to do more, talk more forums and talk about different issues. So by creating this forum, it just opened more ideas for me and opened more issues that I can talk about. And that's really what I really truly enjoyed about this forum. Reflecting, what exactly did you learn from your investigation? Kind of been talking about that. I just really learned that you can do about just anything. Like, I'm in 7th grade, 15, and I created an event myself. An event kind of turned out great in my opinion. People came up to me, it's like, it turned out really nice, I had a nice time. So it's like, I shouldn't just limit myself to like just something. And it also made me realize that by having this talk, it kind of made me feel better, because it's so, people are just like usually one-sided. So until you like hear like a perspective, like police perspective, and telling them like how they have to deal with things, it really opened up my eyes, because I didn't know like what they had to deal with. Like Corporal Thomas was like, police officers are people too. So they have like, they don't go out just saying let me kill somebody. So I never thought of it like that, because I just called them police and they have names. So that really changed my whole outlook on police, because I knew all of them were bad, but it's like, if you're like put in a bunch, it's like, yeah. So that really like changed how I felt about them. How has completing the project extended your knowledge and understanding the global context? Completing the project is like basically allowed me to realize that by doing this form was actually helping me out, and I didn't really know. Like, so I didn't see the relationship. I was identifying like what my passion was and how I can work with the community and like strengthen the bonds together. So like, it really helped me be more aware. What specific skills that you need to develop, apply to investigate to complete a project? You need a communication skills and organization skills. Those were the main ones, because you have to communicate to all three community leaders, the audience, your supervisor, the janitors. Like, you have to really communicate. You have to be organized. If you're not organized, if one thing was not good, it was a domino effect. That will mess up the whole thing. So like, you have to. What did you learn about yourself as a person by undertaking this project? Been talking about this. I just learned that I doubt myself a lot, and also that you need help creating. Like, you just need help overall. Because I'm really independent. I don't really like help, because like I find that as being weak. But I needed to ask for people's help many times, and it wasn't okay. It wasn't like, oh my god, like a bad thing. I needed people's help, but I still did the event myself. Like, it's not gonna take any credit that I created this event by myself. Like, you need help. Like, I realized that I need help. Like, even for my success, I'm gonna need somebody's help. I can't do this all by myself. So that's really what I learned. Like, it's not bad to ask for help, and I'm really starting to grasp that idea. What IB learning profile did you reflect at the beginning of this process? I think I was open-minded. I was open-minded to just like the whole idea to an event. I was open-minded to having a talk with police, because now that I think about it, if I wanted to have any like organization to basically bash them. Like, I know as harsh as that seemed, like I wasn't willing to accept what they had to say. So I was definitely open-minded, and towards the end, like, I think I'm a risk taker. I'm very reflective, because I was a risk taker taking this event. I was a risk taker asking the questions that I asked them, because it was like I didn't want to ask questions that would be disrespectful to them, but I also wanted to ask questions that I really felt was deemed necessary. So it was like a balance of it. So that would really like help me out perfectly. What contributed to the change? I just think was the passion that really contributed, because the whole point of a personal project is to make it as personal as you want. So like, by me making it personal, I was like, okay, if I'm gonna make this as personal, then I want to do it my way. So that didn't that drove me even more, because all the things that I wanted to know, I decided to put through this whole project. So that's really what contributed to it. Everyone, for listening to my journey on creating a forum of discussion. This is the end. Thank you again.